Today we have Capsaicin Cookie topping guide for you on deck. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm excited to break this cookie down, give you the topping guide of choice, some other tips and tricks that I think are super important right now between PvE, PvP, and some other considerations. Take this guy out for a stroll with the CookieRun team, and then pull it all back together as a retrospective, as we always do in our episodes. So thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your support. Down below, you will find the timestamps where we'll break all this stuff down. If you have a question, comment throughout the episode, do let me know. I'd love to hear from you, or feel free to swing by the Discord server. So here's what we got going on with Capsaicin Cookie. That is correct, not capped. I know many of you like to say that in the comments, so thank you as always. We do a ton of shorts and those things that you can check out here, and a great way to stay in tune. Now, because we break down what exactly is Capsaicin Cookie and how to say it. Now, with that, why you're here today, this cookie is a charge cookie, a frontline cookie. Very, very important here as well. In particular, the moveset Capsaicin Magma. Now, a couple things with this we'll break down the tips after I read it, so keep that in mind. We'll put a pin in that. Capsaicin Cookie transforms with the surge of magma power. When he has transformed, his regular attacks will cause lava eruptions, inflicting burn and magma debuffs to enemies. The magma debuff increases fire type damage taken. While transformed, Capsaicin Cookie will briefly become resistant to interrupting effects. After his transformation, Capsaicin Cookie will enter Spice Overlord mode with all the intense magma power and deliver his final strike. If he becomes immobilized during the battle, he will become immortal, dispelling his debuffs, and cannot be immobilized again for a certain period of time, which is pretty impressive. The first cooldown of Capsaicin Cookie skill will be shortened, allowing for faster skill use. So very, very important there. So here's all the breakdown. So a couple of key parts here. Single hit damage is 58.9% of attack. That gets scaled right here when you upgrade. So these are very, very important. So as you upgrade the skill level, I'm not fully maxed, but as you upgrade the skill level there, that's going to add to all these pieces. So not necessarily stack an attack to increase it. Now it is a percentage of attack. That is very, very important. You get single hit damage, you get lava eruption, you get the magma debuff, fire damage for plus 20% of 20 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. I think this is very important. I think this is also being very underused right now, and I'll come back to this in a second. Burn damage, 27.3% damage for every 1 second for 16 seconds, stacks up to 2. Spice Overlord burn damage every 8.8 for 16 seconds, stacks, all those fun things. We got the immortality lasts for 6 seconds there as much. So here's kind of a key tip and trick that I want you to understand that I think is very important and can help you in your gameplay. The first one is, we've seen this before. Yes, we saw this in the frozen stacks between Frost Queen and Sherbet. So why do I bring this up? We have 2 other cookies that also have burn. Yes, we have Mollusk Sauce cookie, but the other one that people forget about is our friend Rye. Look at that. Boom. That damage is going to be extraordinarily crucial when stacked with our friend Capsaicin Cookie. Now, Mollusk Sauce is an easy choice on doubling up. I want to call that out too, so that you can think about how you want to leverage that in both PvE and PvP. So very, very important. Again, some things and tips and tricks to think about. Now, that does lead us into our toppings. Boom. So here's what we're recommending. We're recommending solid almonds. So we're recommending this for a reason. And hang on here for a second. Certainly, does his damage scale with attack? Absolutely. Should you use attack? Absolutely. You should use the 5 raspberries. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm saying when you're going to use them, you're going to use them in certain events. You may use them in PvP. The reality of why you're going on the 5 solid almonds, though, is survivability. If this guy's going to be a key tanker for you as the meta shifts, we absolutely need to make sure he survives. He's also a bigger debuffer for all the other burn cookies. That's the other key. So you need to make sure that the debuff's staying on. He's taking the damage. Everything else is doing the DPS and the damage per second as we need to as you build your team. That is one of the main reasons why we have this. Again, depending on what meta team you're running, this guy's certainly a part of it. It's going to make a big difference on how you want to do it. If you are running Hollyberry, you might want to consider running the attack as an example instead of running the defense, because then you got 2 survivability cookies. You only really need a 1 tank, so you can have this more as a supporting attacker as an example. So let's go ahead and take a double click into Solid Almond. So here's what I would say isn't going to change. What is not going to change is the bonus effects. The key ones that you're absolutely going to want is damage resistance and attack. Now, any other survivability stuff like HP and defense, certainly up there as well. Cooldown is nice as well. I would consider those more the tier 1, tier 2, and then all the rest of the stuff, crit resist, debuff resist, all that other fun stuff more as a tier 2 and nice to have. Now, in terms of my cookie, I had some pre-stacked, really nice damage resist ones that are absolutely beautiful here. Now, that is a very well stacked, defense minded, damage resistant minded Capsaicin Cookie right there. I would say this is probably like an 8 out of 10, closer in those stats. Now, the last thing that I do want to talk about here about Capsaicin Cookie is not only did we recommend that, but one of the big things to keep in mind is these right here. Triple Cone Cup Trio Toppings. That is correct. I have 2 right now. 2. That is why I did not show that in terms of our toppings. So if we go into storage here, we might be able to find them. Here we go. Here is absolutely what you want to put on Magma. Yes, Capsaicin Cookie. That is correct. Use these wisely because they are going to give you a much higher stat damage or higher level stat in terms of what you need on those bonus skills, which is really going to significantly make a difference on the cookie that you use. So that is a key one to consider there. I would definitely put that as your key topping of choice. I did not show that because I went with my solid almonds, but I want to make you aware and ensure that you understand that that's a great one there for you and how you should absolutely think about maxing out your toppings and supporting Capsaicin Cookie here as we go forward in CookieRun Kingdom. All right, great time to ask questions if you have them. Thank you as always. Let's go ahead and now move into the run with the team so we can absolutely check out Capsaicin's moveset. We are going to go to story mode as we like to do. We like to go to Hall of Enlightenment. 829, we are ready. We will flip into a different team here. Let's edit, grab our Capsaicin Cookie. Think we can win with that? 215. I think Capsaicin can tank it. Let's go ahead and do it because we're going to have some fun here with this team today. Now we'll pull off auto because we want to see the moveset. Boom. Now it's got a skill bar timer there. Lots of damage here. Boom. Spice Overlord it is. All right. Here we go. On to our last friend right here. Lots of damage in the regular attack. Spice Overlord pulling through, absolutely crushing it for us. I love it.
See how powerful magic can be?
Absolutely Ginger Brave. Even though I know that was Wizard. Shh. I'm testing you. Let me know in the comments. All right, here we go. Pull this thing home. So much fun.
I'll burn it all. Burn it up.
I love it, Capsaicin. All right. With that, we walk through the super epic cookie here, Capsaicin Cookie. We talked about the frontline charger here. We went through the skill set and the move set. Couple key things of consideration, things to think about. PvE, PvP, how you build your team, those kinds of things. Certainly, we've given a great meta guide as well that you can check out here on the channel. And then lastly, we did give you the toppings choice, a couple of key tips and tricks there, considerations as well with the 5 solid almond, and then obviously the tricone cup toppings. So with that, thank you so much. Always, I appreciate it. Appreciate growing the community that you're a part of as well. Thank you for the likes and the subs. If you have a question, comment, again, let me know, or feel free to swing by the Discord server. With that, enjoy Capsaicin Cookie, enjoy the guide, and we got a ton more Cookie Run Kingdom content headed your way. Stay tuned.